Congressman Simon, has the Missing Children's Act signed by President Reagan last year in 1982 been effective so far?
Well, it is just getting started, and the answer is that it has the potential to really be effective, to provide some help. But we need some other things done, and we need cooperation of citizens. We need the cooperation of police departments.
What different things will this next Missing Children Act do that the original one did not?
Well, among other things, we will have an 800 number where people can call in who have information about a missing child, or they suspect something. That is one aspect. The second is to have a resource center where we pull information together, where we can determine patterns, where we can determine how we can be more helpful in cases where there are missing children.
Mr. Walsh, many parents complain that police do not take them seriously when they report a child is missing, that they say that the child most likely ran away. Have you encountered this as a problem?
Well, throughout the country, the misnomer of runaway is used. Right in your state, when John Wayne Gacy murdered 33 boys, those 33 boys were listed as runaways. All their parents, including a suburban chief of police, was told that their children were runaways. I don't think any police officer in this country has the arbitrary right to actually sign the death warrant of a child by listing them as a runaway, thereby prohibiting any type of a search. This new bill that we're proposing the Resource Center will try to change police attitudes. It will also try to educate police. A lot of people saw the movie Adam, don't realize the problem that exists on the scope of it, including police, and we're trying to change these attitudes. There are a lot of problems in Illinois. I think the people of Illinois should realize the scope of the problems there. I think a lot of people don't know that Congressman Simon, long before Adam, at least a year before Adam, was the original drafter and the original architect of the Missing Children's Bill. He proposed it, and we, on the Senate side, implemented it along with his approval, and he has always had interest in children, and I am here today to make that clear. I think that the people of Illinois should know what this gentleman has done in the issues of missing children, his feelings. He was there long before Adam was murdered, long before it became a national issue, and had a tough time convincing people that it was a national tragedy. With 1.8 million missing children reported this year alone, 50,000 children suspected victims of foul play, it affects everyone. And this legislation that we're working on with Congressman Simon is only step 2 of 100 steps that are needed.
Public awareness is an important element in prevention. What are some of your suggestions how we can heighten public awareness?
Well, number one, I think people have to realize that they can affect social change on every level, on a local level, a state level, as well as a national level, as long as they have a responsible congressman and people that will listen to them. Number two, I can't understand why safety with stranger awareness programs aren't in every school in the country. We have sex education, new math. I think it's our obligation to teach our children how to resist strangers and abductions. There are many, many techniques. The secret code word is just one. There's no equal power base between an adult and a child. They'll come up to a child with his name on his shirt and say, "Bobby, your mother was hit by a car. I'm here to take you to her." A child of any age would go. But parents and children should get together, formulate a secret code word. It can be anything, a favorite toy, a name of a TV show. And if a stranger comes up to the child and doesn't say the secret code word, no matter how convincing the story is, then the child should know, I won't go with that person. That's one of many, many tips that this new bill will disseminate through the United States through the Resource Center. If people are interested now, they can contact the Adam Walsh Child Resource Center or Congressman Simon's office, and we'll send them some of the new legislation on a statewide basis, some of the fingerprinting programs, some of the safety with strangers awareness programs. But people have to realize that their obligation, they've got to do something about it, and they've got to do something about it today.
If you could make a short statement to the American public to convince them that this is a problem, what would that be?
I would say that it happened to 50,000 parents last year, and it could happen to anyone. And that if people care about children or love children and don't want to go to a morgue to identify their child's body, then they should realize that this could happen to them. It's a national disgrace and a national tragedy, and it's our obligation as adults, parents, whatever, to do something about it.
Has a lack of funding been a problem?
Yes, it has. I will never, ever be able to accept the opposition to the Missing Children's Bill. Congressman Simon and myself and other individuals never gave up. It took us 16 months to get a simple bill through that should have been passed 10 years ago. Funding is a problem, but I think that the awareness is created now. This bill should fly. I hope so. I hope people listening to this will realize they have a good congressman in their state, but they have to beseech their other congressmen, their senators, and say, listen, we care about this bill. It needs to be passed because this $10 million is a drop in the bucket. It wouldn't even pay for 2 space suits on the space shuttle, and I think our children are a much higher priority and much more of a national resource than the space shuttle or anything like that, and I'm not criticizing it. I think we just have to reassess our priorities. In this particular case, I feel honored to be sitting here with Congressman Simon because long before I was aware of the problem of missing children, it was a priority in his legislative list.
How's the Adam Walsh Outreach Center coming along?
We're inundated by requests. We have people working round the clock. People are requesting information from other states about our Florida legislature, our Florida clearinghouse, our safety with strangers, and that's why this bill is so important. We can't handle the overload of requests. We can't handle it, and we need national assistance. We need national funding. We need national attention, and that is why this bill will be introduced in the House of Representatives with Congressman Simon as a co-sponsor next week.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I mean, I could talk for 3 days. I mean, there's that much about this issue, but I think you've got enough, and, you know, I don't want to sound self-serving, Becky, but I hope I made my point that it's a national tragedy and a national disgrace, and I'm sitting here today with a gentleman that was aware of this and tried to do something about it long before the story of Adam, long before Adam was murdered. Thousands of children before Adam and thousands after Adam have been murdered, and, you know, I hope that people throughout the country will realize that. I especially hope the people in Illinois, because I'll tell you something, Becky, I came up here and beat on doors for a whole year, and lots of congressmen slammed their doors on me, lots of apathetic congressmen, and you know, I'm sitting here with one today. I believe in giving credit where credit is due. I believe in this system. We affected social change, and there are people up here that have social awareness and social conscience, and I don't know, I think the people of Illinois should know that, and I don't know what else I can say, but you know, appreciate your time and your interest, and I hope you can get the word out.
Well, I think that I remember hearing you say that Adam said that you were his hero, and I think you may become America's hero.
Well, that's nice of you to say that.
Becky, we thank you very, very much. We appreciate the interest you and your station have shown in this issue.
Thank you very much, Congressman Simon.